certainly said it today on our show, that you believe he is fully convinced that he is going to go up there and beat Floyd Mayweather, just as he was convinced that he was going to beat Chad Mendes with a torn ACL, just as he was convinced he was going to get Jose Aldo out of there in the first round. Everything the man has set out to do, pretty much with the exception of that hiccup against Nate Diaz, he has done. But it seemed to me like by the end of the fourth day, you were less confident than maybe at the start of this world tour that Conor ultimately would get the job done. Is that fair to say?
I would say that's accurate. I still, I'm still impressed with the approach, the mental game, of course, of Conor McGregor still. Floyd's a guy who can adjust to any boxer out there in the world. He could fight going forward. He could fight going backwards. He truly is like a chameleon in that boxing ring. There's just a lot of different things that man can do. And he will do whatever it takes to win. And he's going to be fighting behind a very defensive mindset because, he's being trained by his father, Floyd Sr., who has an even more defensive style approach than his brother, Roger Mayweather. Who obviously Mayweather, Floyd Jr. used for over a decade as a trainer. So
right.
I just think that he's going to have that approach of always going with defense first. I don't think he's going to try to throw himself off balance, which would allow Conor to land one of those big shots. That's where Conor gets a lot of his knockouts, when he's getting guys reaching and jumping in. I don't see it at this point. At this point, I just didn't see Floyd rattled enough. And I thought that Floyd actually got a little bit stronger in his approach. He was not backing down from Conor at all. And he kind of got away from the talk of him being older. And it seemed like he was kind of building himself up. And I think in a lot of ways, Floyd, coming out of retirement, is motivated by Conor McGregor that much more now.
Yeah.
He's realizing that, shit, I looked into this guy's eyes. He truly believes he's going to win. This guy's a crazy man. He's not only trying to beat me, he's trying to hurt me. And he may have woken up a monster in Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think Floyd Mayweather, largely, if you look at the 4 days, I think he did a really good job. It's not as cerebral an approach as Conor McGregor brings to the trash talk or to that format, but I thought Floyd Mayweather did well. And even just the confidence, even in Brooklyn, right, which was the most forgettable day by a mile.
Right.
I just felt like when Floyd walked out and he was dancing, I got to get that Money Team collaboration song, by the way. I don't know what that is, but I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah, that song.
So
yeah.
good. But I really felt like the confidence is just totally unshakable for Mayweather on a McGregor type level. So as far as picking the fight is concerned, so when we do our podcast on August 21st, Kenny and I are going to give our picks. Because it's boxing, I can actually give a prediction in the main event challenge, and we're going to do the round and the method of victory and all of that stuff, right? So sitting here about a month out, 5 weeks out, whatever it is. So most likely I will pick Floyd Mayweather to win this fight by decision. But if I do pick Conor McGregor to win by knockout in round 2 or round 3, right, I won't be picking Conor because I want to be able to tell people I told you so, right? I picked Dan Hardy to beat George St. Pierre, okay, in my ESPN MMA live chat, okay? I didn't do that because I wanted everyone to say, oh, dude, Anik picked Dan Hardy. No, I thought he was going to win. I thought he was going to knock George out, and ultimately I was very wrong. But,
you are really dumb, for real.
But I'm not afraid to be wrong. I guess I just feel like as the fight gets closer, I might be compelled to make a case for Conor McGregor. And sometimes my case for Conor is just like, I don't know how he's going to do it, but I'm done doubting the guy, you know?
Right.
And that's something UFC President Dana White has certainly said ad nauseum, that, doubt this guy at your own peril is all I'm going to say. Right now, my lean is Floyd Mayweather by decision. And if I could get a better price on it, that's probably where I would put my money. I will also tell you, full disclosure, I took $400 and I bet on Conor McGregor to win by knockout in rounds 1, 2, 3, and 4. So $100 wins 4,400, and that doesn't mean he can win in any round, right? If you want all 4 rounds, it's 10-1. Don't hate the bet, but I much prefer to bet all 4 of those rounds. So I got round 1, 44-1, round 2, 3, 4, all the same. The price in Vegas, I think, is 25 or 30-1. Conor has predicted a knockout inside of 4 rounds, and at least right now, that's the only action I have on paper, and we'll see how it plays out. So real quickly, Ken Flo, before we get to Dan Wetzel here, the whole Steven Espinoza Showtime bit, right? I mean, just when you thought there couldn't be further depths to Conor McGregor's genius, And I could see stage right. Dana White didn't necessarily love the fact that Conor was saying, fuck Showtime and calling their foremost executive a weasel. I thought Espinoza handled it with class and sort of took it all in stride very professionally. But, dude, the fact that Conor would just trash Showtime like that just goes to show you that the man will stop at nothing to promote a fight. And if you were looking for sort of seminal breakout moments of these 4 days, I mean, that's the moment I keep coming back to.
Dude, I mean, it was I felt so bad for Mr. Espinoza. I mean, he got killed day 2, day 3. And you think, okay, well, certainly, Conor's going to take it easy on the guy on day 4, right? Wrong. I mean, he just went at him. I mean, it was, I felt bad for the guy. Conor just has this attitude, man, of just take no prisoners, fuck the world, I'm a gangster, I'm a boss. And he lives that life. That is truly Conor McGregor, and that is why he has accomplished what he's accomplished. Love it or hate it, it's his world. That's the way he sees it. I make the rules, I make the decision. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want. And there's a lot of guys that say that, but he truly goes out and does it. And, as far as Conor McGregor, I mean, this guy is more hip-hop than anybody out in the game. He lives that lifestyle.
Right.
He's driving a couple Rolls Royces. He's got a bunch of cars. He's going to dance. He's going to dance. He's going to dress flashy. He's going to really kick ass, and he's done that. He's not talking about it. He is about it.
So TJ's telling me he's got this Money Team song. So I think I just need to stop whatever I was about to say, and TJ's going to play that at some point. I wanted to get to the pay-per-view price point here of $99.99. And TJ, you feel free to drop that music in at any time. But Kenny, I think as we expected, the pay-per-view price point was going to be $99.99. And I was doing a radio interview last week, and they said, I actually thought it was going to be more. And,
right.
Oh, there it is. He just let that shit go. So I actually thought if they were to go $109.99 or $119.99, there it is. There it is. Just let that shit marinate. Oh. Yeah.
And you know it!
Like I'm very can. Pick a bone like it's Pakistan. Type of shit to make it fit a man. Yeah. Been a man. Giving going in.
Who's the song? Who's the song by, TJ?
Frye?
Who?
Oh. Exactly.
Froggy or Frye?
Frye. F-R-I-Y-I-E. Frye.
Oh, okay.
Hard work.
Boo!
Great hair. Kenny
Boo!
Great hair. Kenny Florian.
Money team.
Money team. That's good
so
stuff.
Good.
Oh, man.
And full disclosure, thank you, TJ. I own a Money Team hat. I have
you do.
a Cinco
I
de
think you got a
Mayweather
couple.
t-shirt.
I think you got a couple of them.
I do. I have a TBE hat. It says it's the best ever, though. It was a gift. I can't really wear it in public because for obvious reasons. But anyway, so the pay-per-view price point, and thank you, TJ, $99.99, right? I sort of was joking doing this one interview saying, hey, you go $109.99 or $119.99. I think people are paying it. But
right.
I think $99.99 is the right price point for this fight. And Kenny, if the numbers in terms of people ingesting this press conference, or these press conferences, I should say, is any indication, this thing's breaking a record. I just don't see how it doesn't. Am I crazy?
There's no doubt about it, man. And this is what's so crazy is that, the majority of the World Tour was on FS2, was also replayed on FS1, and it did huge numbers for the network. And in the times that it was on, it kind of was not these peak prime hours. It just shows the power of these two guys and why this fight really got put together. Maymac World Tour was the most tweeted hashtag for those few days. This is a huge deal. These guys are going to make tons of money.
And Showtime had its YouTube feed. Certainly the UFC had its YouTube feed. I was watching most of it on UFC Fight Pass, and then I found out the flow was on FS2. So I think it took me longer to find FS2 in my guide than it did to actually watch it. But all right, well, a productive 4 days for Mayweather and McGregor. And, I saw some people tweeting, I just can't wait till August 27th. And I think for a lot of people, Kenny, and that, of course, is the Sunday after the fight, a lot of people are nauseated by this, and it just feels like it's too much. I think, on the other end of the spectrum. Here I am waiting around, delaying taking my daughters to gymnastics or whatever it was so I can watch a press conference. Like, I've never revolved my day around a press conference as I did over the last week. So